Mr. Chong,
Yes,
you're no big fan of automated elections. Anong
As I see
observation nyo in the latest? It's still ongoing. The count is still ongoing. Anong observation nyo sa nangyayari ngayon?
Actually, this election for me is the worst. The worst ever. Tanong po ni Sir Ruby kanina about in the aspect of security, there's still not much security here. Transparency? Absolutely not. And look at what happened to the transparency server. We waited for 7 hours. Then, lo and behold, they gave us the whole figure while they were receiving transmissions all throughout in the back room. And accessibility, I doubt it. You only have one machine there, and people are lining up outside. You can ask the voters. In the manual elections, the voters can easily vote because there's no machine in which acts as a funnel. Diba? Walang magka-clog sa system. Everybody just simply drop the ballot. And then, accuracy? Wala. It's better for you to make tara-tara than let the machine count it. Hindi naman lalabas pala yung boto mo doon sa resibo. There are so many problems with this election system. For me, garapalan yung DAYAAN dito. This is the only time that I've heard na yung resibo does not reflect the vote made by the voter. And we received that complaints, various complaints, because I don't know with respect to the other senatorial candidates, but we have established our own infrastructure. Meron po kaming infrastructure. We sent out 12 hotline numbers, 6 Globe, 6 Smart, and for the public to report to us, we have our operations center. We have actually 3 studios in the operations center to report this out. And that's when we started receiving from the first one na received namin talaga was Barangay Mabutal East in Ballesteros, Cagayan Province. People were reporting na binoto nila ako, but my name does not appear in the voter receipt. And there is an explanation how it is done.
Ano daw yung explanation?
No, it's our explanation.
Yes.
Ganito po yan. You have to look at the machine. Ito pong makina po, ang gamit po natin is OMR, Optical Mark Reader, as opposed to the Optical Character Reader. The Optical Mark Reader reads marks.
Yung gano'n natin,
yes, yung
bilog.
shade. It does not read Glenn Chong because it requires an OCR, Optical Character Reader.
Yeah, it has to be able to read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In OCR, it can read the name Glenn Chong. But Optical Mark Reader, it cannot read the character. So
Yes.
the mark.
Baka
So,
naman nag-under.
Which is why the mark is important na
Yes, sir.
katabi ng pangalan mo. Di ba?
Like for example, in my case, nasa column 2, row 5 ako. Column 2, row 5. So when you feed your ballot into the machine, nakita niya yung shade in column 2, row 5. The machine will ask the template. It's
Sino
also
yan?
the template. Sino ito? Because it cannot read the Glenn Chong. Ito yung column, ito yung oval, andito yung pangalan ko. It cannot read the pangalan.
Yes.
It can read only the mark. So magtatanong siya sa template, sino ito si column 2, row 5?
Yes.
So in the template must be the same as the ballot facing.
Yes.
Yung balotan natin, they must be duplicate.
Mm.
Pag tinanggal mo yung pangalan ko doon sa column 2, row 5, syempre the machine will tell you it's a blank.
Yes.
So the receipt will print blank.
Yes.
So
But
if my name is replaced with, say, Gary Alejano,
yes.
then it will tell also the machine, that's Gary
Now,
Alejano.
question.
Yes, sir.
As Mr. Celis said, the number one concept in all of this is transparency.
Yes.
So that transparency can address things. I mean, in Philippine life, it can come later in life. It can come delayed. But transparency will there. May pagtutuos at some point, di ba? The point is, with all the data that we can access or not access, can we validate that concern? Na, teka muna, I want to see the template. Na, ako ba talaga yung nasa column 2, row 5? I want to be able to validate that. The Comelec has said, look, we will open up all data. The Comelec said PPCRB will be granted access to all the server logs. And I would presume they're saying also, look, kung anong pwede namin ibigay. Ano. And that's what Mr. Jimenez has said. All of this will be verifiable. You can cross-check across the different servers and so on. Meron pa po ba kayong sinasabi na hindi kayang balikan, na hindi kayang i-validate?
Sir, with respect to actually the first person to have raised the issue on itong templating system is Dr. Pablo Manalastas ng Ateneo de Manila University. He was the first one to raise this issue.
Where does that template reside?
It's in the software. It's in the SD card.
It's in the
It's in the
card,
SD card.
which is inserted into the VCE.
Which is inserted into the VCM. Because
Okay.
actually, sir,
So if you have access to the
SD card, you can change
then
it.
this will not be a matter of your word against mine. This will be a matter of what the SD card says.
Yes.
Di ba?
So kasi, remember, the machines are dumb machines. They don't function without the SD card. So
Okay.
with the SD card, that's where all the instructions are there.
Mr. Chong, we were talking about the templating, the templates by which dyan magko-cross-check yung machine, di ba?
Yes, with respect to the mark.
With
who
regards
is
to the mark. Oh, sino ba talaga tong nasa column 2, row 5,
Yes.
and so on. And then the Excel spreadsheet, kumbaga, will say, si ano yan, si Glenn Chong, count
Yes.
1 vote for Glenn
Yes,
Chong.
that's
Now,
co-
we don't
that's
want to get
correct,
too technical on any of these things. As I said, my only question is, can we ultimately go back to the system for an objective check on what you are saying and what the Comelec is also assuring na walang problema? Ang tanong lang naman at the end of the day, para hindi tayo masyadong technical, meron ba tayong sandigan na referee dito? Now, if you say na actually the problem is ultimately we do not even have a referee, ultimately we do not even have an objective answer to whether or not tama yung, in this case, the template, then I acknowledge that's a real problem. But I want to start with that to both of you. Are either of you saying that we cannot even actually go back in time and actually check what actually happened?
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Sir, if these SD cards are made available right now,
We can check.
we can check it. But if they're going to make it available a month later, I will
Okay.
not accept anymore
Correct.
whatever
That
comes
na
out there.
yan. It
Because
can be
Okay, let's get a
They
more
can be
technical
reprogrammed.
question because you should be, you're the techie
Yeah.
here. You should be able to know if that's the real SD card at the very least. Di ba?
Correct. We had a case in 2010. I don't know if you still remember the 60 Picos machines in Antipolo.
Yeah.
So these were seized by the candidates then. And these were brought to the Senate. Because I said to the Joint Congressional Canvassing Committee at that time, I said that there should be digital forensics of this 60 Picos machines seized there. So Senate President then, Enrile, and House Speaker Nograles granted. So the 60 Picos machines were brought to the Senate. And would you believe it or not, the hash codes of those 60 Picos machines were different from the hash codes of the machines deployed, and even different from those hash codes in escrow in Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Yes.
What's a hash code?
So that means
No, but like I said, never mind.
it's like a serial number.
But that's my point, no?
Yes.
I think you're illustrating my point because
Yes.
I can ignore all the technical terms that you're
Right.
saying, but what you're saying is I can go from this point,
Yes.
review it, cross-check it against this
Yes.
point, and so on. So yun
Right.
yung tanong ko dito.
yes.
Pwede ba?
Are you
Yes.
still confident
Yeah.
that given all the components that the Comelec says that they will make available, you can at least try to make your case?
Yes.
From
Yes, sir.
Let's retrieve
And the
Several
time element
samples.
is
But it
crucial.
can be corrupted. You were saying
It can be manipulated.
corrupted.
So the time element is crucial.
Ano yung
Okay.
time
Okay.
element?
Okay.
What's
Good
a
point.
reasonable
Crucial.
time
Okay, good
element?
point. Good
What's a
point.
1
reasonable
week to
time
2
element?
weeks. 1 week to 2 weeks.
1 week to 2 weeks from when?
From today.
From today.
Actually,
Not
for example,
election day.
No, pwedeng election day because the data is already there.
Yeah.
Like for example, sir. ma'am,
2 weeks lang, that's a very small window.
No, insofar as Comelec is concerned, hindi
Yeah.
po yan. The data is already available. Like for example, hihingi ako sa Comelec. I want the metadata of all transmissions from the VCMs to the transparency server.
Yes.
Natapos na po yan. The metadata is already there. Available na po. Okay. I want the metadata of all transmissions from the VCMs to the Comelec central server.
Yes.
Natapos na rin po yan.
Okay.
They can give it to us tomorrow if
Yes.
they want to.
Yeah.
Kung sa Monday, okay
Well,
lang
they've
yan.
said,
Okay lang.
They've said,
On Monday.
they've said that they'll open up the data to the transparency servers.
Sir, I beg to disagree. James is good at promising. He does not accomplish anything.
No,
He
but
does not-
there will be a congressional investigation next
Ay,
week.
ma'am.
Next week is okay.
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
Next
Ganito
week
po.
is okay.
Ay, allergic na po ako dyan sa congressional investigation kasi noong 2016, clinamisan din po kami. Mag-congressional investigation tayo May 20. 20.
Pareho ba yung
Pagdating ng
hinihingi?
20, nawala.
Okay.
Pareho ba yung hinihingi nyo sa NAMFREL? Pareho
I
yung
think
hinihingi
we have
nyo?
the same demand. Open
Okay.
the system to open up the veil of secrecy. Ang akin is metadata from the transparency server in the Comelec central server.
Okay,
Kasi imamatch ko yan.
Okay, Mr. Chong.
Yes, sir.
I guess tama naman po yung ano nyo. It's easy to say yes, di ba? Talk is cheap. But at least as far as the answer is concerned,
Yeah.
was that the correct answer to say that okay, we will grant access to all of this? I mean, monitoring them on keeping good on their promise is another
Sir,
problem.
it's a very safe answer.
Oh, nga, yes, but is it the correct answer? I mean, you would. If the, di ba?
I'll
You
take
start
that
with
answer.
the
I'll
okay,
accept
you'll
this
take it.
answer.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
So, assuming that that is the direction that you will have access, you should be able to verify at least those questions. Kailan pumasok, ilan ang pumasok, and so on.
Yes, sir. Actually, in 2016, I discovered 8 transmission codes that were extra. They were hidden in Quezon Province.
Okay.
Looking at the metadata from the transparency server, nandoon yun.
8 out of what?
8, in Quezon Province, there are supposed to be only 41 transmission codes.
Okay.
4 canvassing systems. They recorded 49.
Okay.
There's an excess of 8 transmission codes that can be used.
Each in the physical real world transmission code translates to what? A municipality? A
Yes, to
Okay.
one canvassing system.
Okay, to
so
one
in other words,
municipal-
if you have extra transmission codes, you can cheat whole province, whole cities and whole towns.
Okay.
Tama yun.
Yeah.
Teki,
Yeah.
tama yun.
Yes, it is correct. I have
Okay.
another
Example.
example on how to detect, no? Because it's stipulated in Section 11, no? The Technical Evaluation Committee shall certify that the source code, the hash codes, should be in escrow in Bangko Sentral.
Yes.
So, meron tayong hash codes doon. So, if there is a technical evaluation certification for the machines, indicating the hash codes for each machines, then we can compare.
Okay.
But kasi it's also stipulated in Section 11 of the Automated Election Law that the hash codes of the machine should be similar to the hash code in escrow in Bangko Sentral.
Similar. Not
Should be
identical?
Similar. Equal. 1:1.
Oh, nga, it's not identical. Ay,
Should be
similar.
1:1.
Oh, nga, kaya nga.
Identical.
It should be identical.
Yes, identical or
Ah.
similar or equal. So, pagdating niya sa presinto, dapat yan chinecheck ng BI. Tama ba yung hash code? Pagka ni-replace yung SD card, ano mangyayari? Will the hash code be checked?
Yes.
Pagka hindi mo chinek yung hash code, that is a big, there could be a big discrepancy
Okay.
pag napalitan yung SD card.
Oo.
So, you have to check yung hash code bago mong SD card.
Okay.
That should be compared with the hash code in Bangko Sentral.
Yes.
So that's a comparative
Okay. Now,
solution.
at this point, are we concerned that you won't have access to that?
There was no certification by the TEC. So we cannot access.
Have you been invited to the congressional
Yes.
investigation
We-
next week?
That's on June 4.
Yeah, June 4.
Malayo
June
pa po.
4.
Malayo pa po.
Malayo-layo pa. Ay,
So-
no, that's too late. Ano?
That's too
No,
late.
wait.
Too late.
Not too late, ma'am. They will postpone it and cancel it 2 days before.
I was
I'm sure about
always invited. I'm always,
You have invited? Okay.
I'm always present with the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee.
But do you share his observation? He said
Yes.
he thinks that this is the worst elections he's ever
Yes, the
experienced.
automated
Do you
election
share that?
system watch is the worst.
This is the worst.
More BCMs
In the past,
count.
since we
More SD
introduced
cards
automated
compared to
elections.
2016.